we're going to start. To my Zoomologists, I just want to make sure that VW was let in. Can I get a yes?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, with that being said, guys, make sure that you have okay. With that being said, I want to make sure that you all have your signs ready to go. Not yet, stand by. So I want to welcome you all to what, in my mind, has already become the coolest event I've done in my life. Hands down, I'm done. So I want to thank you all for joining us today for Stitch Around the World, which is, it was kind of birthed from the She Show. The She Show, as I said at the beginning, was a moment where I wanted everyone to take those 30 minutes of their day to just take a break from everything that's going on outside. And you know, we've invited knitters and crocheters from literally all around the world. I saw Israel in here. I saw France. I saw Egypt. I don't know that person. So Egypt is watching us, and that is very cool. I mean, I don't know everyone in here that is near, far, and wide, but I just appreciate friends, family. And you know what, truth be told, you are all family, because we are all through this together. And the whole idea of these Zoom backgrounds was just to show you how we are all together in this, and we are all we're all connected by this beautiful thread. Just a little background on who I am. I'm the brand ambassador of Lion Brand Yarn. Lion Brand Yarn is a family owned and operated business, 4th and 5th generation, and I am lucky enough to be a part of that 5th generation. I am also most recently, as of 3 years ago, founder of Hat Not Hate, which is an anti-bullying campaign. And if you are here, you most definitely know about Hat Not Hate and what it's all about. Today, we are going to be announcing our partnership with the world-renowned It Gets Better project. So we'll be speaking more about that and the different groups individually. But before I get into everything, I just want to thank you again for joining me today. And we are going to be joined by some really special friends and special guests, and they'll say hello and tell you a little bit more about themselves, and again, what everyone is doing around the world, and hashtag Stitch Around the World. Woo, woo. With that, I am going to, if I had a drum roll, I would. I'm going to hand it off to my good friend, my one and only good friend, Miss Vanna White. Vanna, how are you?
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Hi, Vanna. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for doing this, Shira. You are amazing how you bring so many people together. We're all sitting in our homes doing our needlework, and you're showing us all, you know, I don't know, I guess putting us all in the same place at the same time, which makes it even more special. And I'm working on mine too. I'm working on a big one. Look at this. I'm doing a big Afghan because it was now it's warm, but I'm doing with homespun. I'm trying to finish this blanket. So that's my little project. I see everybody else working on some things too. And I'm so happy to have you all here together. It's something that it's not a secret, but it's fun, isn't it? It's a fun little thing for us to do together. It creates things and we love doing it. It's like therapy and makes great gifts. So anyway, I'm just all excited. I love crocheting, and I know you all love needlework as well, crocheting, knitting, whatever it may be. So thank you for being part of this and listening to this. And what else can I say? I love Lion Brand Yarn. I have been with the company for over 20 years. I have my own line of yarn, and I donate half my proceeds to St. Jude, which also goes to another great cause, which I love. And thank you all for sharing in that as well. And it's so much fun to be here with Zoom to see the hundreds of people doing what I love best and what you love best too. And it's so, during this difficult time, I know it's really hard for everybody. I'm so thankful that we have Zoom and I'm able to share with you and you share with me, as well as I've done with, you know, some other people. Like I recently did one, we had a ER nurse on our show, and I surprised her when she had her show airing last week. So I want to say a big shout out to her and all the nurses and all the people on the front line, the grocery people, the truck drivers. There's so many people to thank. I want to thank all of you for making our lives easier and being there for us and helping us. We want to do whatever we can to give back. And Shira, you're amazing with how you keep things going in this wonderful world of needlework. Your show is great. I want you to tell everybody. I think it's 12 Eastern time, Monday through Friday. You can find her, the She Show, on the Lion Brand Facebook Live channel, which I tune in, and it's wonderful to see you and see the passion that you have for this work. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling on. You know, I'd love to hear from some of you or share with.
Vanna, first off, I just want everyone to, Vanna's not going to go, she's going to stay here for just a few more minutes, but if you are having trouble seeing Vanna, it might be because you are in gallery view. Change it to speaker view so you can see beautiful Vanna's face. And just so you know, first off, Vanna, that was one of the coolest things listening to you plug my show, by the way. I felt like I was like, how often do you have like Vanna White plug your like Facebook lives? Not often. But I am so thankful to you. First off, thankful to you being a friend of Lion Brand for as long as you have, and truthfully, just anytime. I mean, you know, I've known you for a long time, even from that moment when I was so starstruck from you when I was a little girl, and you called our house asking to speak to my dad, and you said it was Vanna, and I hung up on you because I couldn't imagine that Vanna White was actually calling our house, but she was. And I am so, so grateful to everything that you have done for Lion Brand, everything that you have done for St. Jude, everything that you do for people out there by just being in their homes, you know, a part of Wheel of Fortune and bringing them smiles, and being a part of our Lion Brand family for as long as you have been. And of course, most recently being on the She Show. And again, for today, being here and talking to what we now have as almost 700 people in this Zoom.
That's so nice. And you know, you mentioned family. Of course, Lion Brand is part of my family. And I feel like all of us who are enjoying this wonderful craft, I think that we're all family too. We have something in common, and I think we all have the same feeling about it as well when we're in the middle of making something or whatever. It's just special.
It really is special, and I see a lot of people messaging, just saying how excited they are to see you and how happy that you are a part of the Lion Brand family. And I love that every time. Also, a little fun fact about Vanna. First off, personally, like Vanna and I basically talk cats. We talk shop about cats. We talk about yarn, but we also talk, she has a beautiful cat named Stella, who I am like a tremendous fan of. And, last summer, she did a really cool thing for Hat Not Hate. We had a celebrity stitch night where my good friend and a good friend of Hat Not Hate, Judy Greer, joined us with her crafting crew at Vanna's house. And that video is available on YouTube to kind of just see the summary, but it was just so awesome. And Vanna, your heart is I'd say full of yarn and full of gold and full of love. And I'm just so thankful to you for being a part of the show today.
Well, it's my pleasure. And does anybody have any questions? Is there anything you're curious about that I could answer or Shira could answer?
I think that hold on one second. I'm trying to this is like way beyond my pay grade, Vanna, of like trying to go between these mediums here. I can only imagine my father trying to do this. He'd be so lost. I just, you know, Kathleen says, I love your yarn, Vanna. My granddaughter's favorite blanket for 10 years was crocheted with Vanna's Choice yarn. It still looks beautiful and she loves it. I use a pattern and from one of your books. I also knit a log cabin blanket for my daughter's wedding 11 years ago, and wash after wash. It is beautiful. I love your yarn. Thank you for St. Jude too. Love seeing you each night. God bless you and your children. So that comes from Kathleen. So she's chiming in, and I see a lot of people privately messaging me saying, yes, me too, me too. Everyone is joining in, and they are just so thankful. Mario says, I love Vanna's yarn. It's got a great feel to it. Vanna, they love your yarn. What can I say?
I love it. I love my yarn too.
That's great. Thank you for joining us today. I hope that you and your family, and to your son, and just to everyone, to Stella, obviously, and I hope to see you again soon. And like Vanna, I'm just kind of like in awe that Vanna was like promoting the She Show. That was a cool thing.
Oh, you're so cute. You're so cute. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for being here. Keep up the good work. Stay safe, stay home, and we're all in this together, and we'll get through it. We'll get on the other side. Okay, everybody have a great day. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
Bye, Vanna. Thank you so much.
Buddy. Thank you.
So
Beautiful
much, Vanna.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Wow. Okay. So guys, how often can you say that you were on a Zoom with Vanna? I don't think so. That's pretty cool. It's crazy to think that, I mean, who would have thought that, like, you know, I mean, I think that Vanna also said it, you know, we're about to hit 700 participants in the Zoom, which is pretty cool. And I urge the people that are on the Facebook Live to really join us here in the Zoom, because we are literally breaking a record right now of the largest craft Zoom ever. I never thought in a million years that we could do this, but shout out to Mark P for coming up with this concept. And shout out to my team of Kurt, of Meg, of Tom, of Dan, of Sarah, of Sam, of Mark McCowan, Erica, Jessica, literally all of the marketing team at Lion Brand. Your energies, I cannot do it without you. I probably would be a puddle of tears right now if it was not without you. So a real big shout out, and the biggest social distance hug that I could ever give you all, because I really could not do it without you. So with that, before we get to our next guest, I want to do our big moment. I'm like watching the time. I'm also like trying to like enjoy this and like soak this in. Cool. Okay. So this is the moment, guys. All right. So it's going to take some practice. We're wow, we're at 707 participants. I just want you to know that my is like highly impressed with me. So we're pleasing Tanta Rosa right now. So we are at 710 participants. Guys, I'm just going to say we have room for another 290 more, I believe it is. So tell your friends and family, if we're gonna have 1,000 people here, I think we totally can, because I bet each and every one of you know at least 2 people that are binge watching something on Netflix where they totally could be right now here with us crafting. So with that said, I want everyone to come to their screens, have your cameras going, and I want you to hold up your signs. While I'm holding mine up, I'm gonna go through again. I'm going to see, I see Western New York, I see Rego Park, I see Cincinnati, Ohio, I see Connecticut, I see Hungary, I see Brookline, I see Southern New Jersey, I see sunny Florida, I see Queens, I see California, I see East Atlantic Beach. That's my brother. I see Seattle, Washington. I see Denver, Colorado. I see New Jersey. I see Ireland. I see Olive Branch, Minnesota. I see New Jersey. I see Georgia. I see Oakland. I see Iowa. I see Westchester, PA. I see Valley Springs, California, sorry. I see Richmond, Virginia. I see Michigan. I see Pleasant, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, Colorado. Wow, this is so cool. Staten Island, New York, Hamburg, Germany, Mississippi, Italy. Wow, I am sending you all so much love. Frankfurt, Germany. Yes, you guys are there. Thank you. Omaha, Maine, New Jersey, Israel, Queens, Kentucky. I'm hiding my tears. Chicago, Connecticut. Wow, you all are really showing up. This is one of the coolest things. And as you can see, if you are, I see Strasbourg, France. I see Asbury Park. I see California, Ottawa, Philly, that's some really awesome I-cord. I see Pennsylvania. I see Ohio State. I see Hanover, PA. I see Cairo, Egypt. I see Brooklyn. I see Pembroke, Massachusetts. I see Kansas City. I see Tiburn, Trisha in California. I see Ohio, San Francisco, Wisconsin, London, UK. Sally, I see you. Wow, guys, Cincinnati, Ohio, Carolyn, thank you. Emily in Brooklyn, New York rocks. Yes. Kent, Ohio, Missouri, Boston. Wow, guys, this is one of the coolest things. And I hope that you're having the ability to scroll through and check out all of these amazing signs that you guys have done. And I am so thankful to each and every one of you. Atlanta, Puerto Rico, Virginia. I think at this point, I'm pretty sure we probably have all of the 50 states, not even included. There are 29 pages of people here. And Toronto, Hudson, Ohio, Estates Park, Maryland, and Colorado. There's so many people. It's like Chattanooga, Dawn, I see you. Woo! Wow, this is Portland, Oregon. I honestly, guys, I'm Calgary, Alberta, Long Island, New York. Wow, thank you. Northern New York, Providence, Rhode Island. I see you all. Keep on holding up those signs. And I am just Alaska. I see you. Colorado, Jessica. I see you. Anne in Edmond, Oklahoma. I see you. You guys are so wonderful. And I just want to continue to tell you, Lubeck, Texas. Wow. Sedona, Arizona. Shirley, I see you. Nashville, I see you. Wow. There are so many people joining in today. And I am so grateful. This is one of the coolest things. Hopefully one day I get a chance to meet all of you in person, all 716 people of you that are here today. And remember, Kurt from New York, Kurt, I'm here for that sign. Wow, I am like overwhelmed with all of your amazing signs. And I think with that, I allow you to put them down. Thank you so much for sharing that moment with me. That was pretty awesome. Guys, I just want to say again, thank you so much to everyone that is in this room. I see you, I hear you, and I'm so grateful to all of you that have participated in the Facebook Lives, the She Show, and for coming here today, Stitch Around the World. And thank you so much to Vanna White for joining us today and to hear about that ER nurse that you worked with and surprised. That is really awesome. So now, actually, I mentioned earlier, I'm working on another blue hat. Of course, we have our goal, our hashtag 20 for 20 blue hats, because Hat Not Hate is looking for 100,000 blue hats this year. And we really are on track, because I've heard from a lot of you that you are past your 100. And even I got a message from one of my very good friends, one of my wonderful blue soldiers the other day, saying that she made 501 blue hats because she made that last one, because she knows that every hat makes a difference, and that one will go just as far. So I urge you that the 700 people, the 700 plus people that are a part of this, to join in this movement of Hat Not Hate. because I am actually going to be passing it off to a good friend of mine. And before that, just so you know, links will be in the comments, and also you can follow Hat Not Hate on Instagram. You can go to hatnothate.org. You can go to and hatnothate.org has all the information that you need to know about Hat Not Hate, our deadline, where to send the hats, what types of yarn to use, cool sweatshirts to buy, really awesome tote bags to buy, pens to buy, tags to buy, lots of fun stuff to purchase. And with that, I'm actually going to bring in a good friend of mine, and a very good friend. I'm going to bring in my good friend, John Giswald. And John Giswald is going to be talking about the It Gets Better project. And with that It Gets Better project is a nonprofit that provides resources for LGBTQ youth around the world. These kids are often bullied at alarming rates, and we're excited to be donating a portion of sales of all 2020 #HatNotHate merchandise to It Gets Better and their efforts to connect queer youth to safe resources, particularly now. So you can show your support in going to hatnothate.org for you can buy a sweatshirt, you can buy a tote bag. The tote bag, hello, here we go, tote bag, and on the back it has all the hats. We have the Hat Not Hate pens, we have the Hat Not Hate faux leather tags, the wooden tags, and all and proceeds of that goes back to It Gets Better. So you helping make a difference with Hat Not Hate is making a difference for that LGBTQ youth out there. And so with that, a little bit more about It Gets Better, I'm going to ask that John Giswald joins us.
Hi, Shira.
Hi, John. You look so good against blue.
Right? It's just I love the string that is connecting all of us together. It looks amazing.
I love it. I love it. So first off, I want to thank you, as always. You are now our, how are we going to call you? You're our exercise correspondent for the She Show, but also,
Hard to say it.
but also so much more. And please tell us a little bit about who you are and why you're here today.
Well, thank you. I mean, thank you for doing this, first of all, bringing the globe together. And just to let everybody know, my name is John Giswald, and I have a group called Knit in the Pit, which meets virtually every Friday. And I'm really happy to be a proud member of the Hat Not Hate family. I've been stitching hats and getting other people to stitch hats now since the beginning. And I do that because as a young gay kid in the Midwest, I really wish that there had been an effort or a group of people that would have supported me. And much like the support that Hat Not Hate gives me and gives us, It Gets Better is one of those organizations out there too that is supporting young gay LGBTQ youth. And I'm here to talk a little bit about that. It Gets Better is a nonprofit organization with a global mission to uplift, empower, and connect LGBTQ youth around the world who especially are impacted by bullying. It was founded in 2010 by Dan Savage, activist and author, and his partner, Terry Miller, with a huge YouTube campaign that aligns itself with the Hat Not Hate mission beautifully. And they have rallied people like Barack Obama and Laverne Cox, who spread love and support to the LGBTQ youth by simply telling them that it gets better. And they tell them how. Today, more than 70,000 people have shared their It Gets Better story, and over 630,000 people have pledged their support. It Gets Better since then has grown into a global effort and a movement that aligns the same mission as Hat Not Hate to end bullying around the world. Across the world, it serves a much needed resource for kids who face adversity and isolation, and it ensures them that they hear stories of hope. that it helps them find outlets and engages them in their community, both online and offline. So it's a real lifeline for these kids. And right now it's doubling down on its effort online to help queer youth find their chosen family during this quarantine. So what I would urge everyone to do would be to go to the link in the chat, find out about it, and share your own stories about how it gets better. I know that my own story of being a young gay kid in the Midwest has benefited not only by the It Gets Better project, by being out there for kids, but my own story with Hat Not Hate became very personal because I've been posting about it on my own page. I rallied a group of people together with Knit in the Pit to stitch hats and to make a concerted effort to reach out to kids who need our message of love and compassion. And by doing so, the bully that bullied me in school actually reached out to me 40 years later with an apology to me for treating me that way. And so that simple act of kindness, which I've shared with my group, Knit in the Pit, and as well as on the She Show, shows what outreach can do. It can bring to me closure to a hurtful time in my life, and it also opened up a dialogue with a man who I now can call my friend. So I am really, really so proud of my involvement with Hat Not Hate. I'm proud of my group, and I'm proud to be Shira's friend so that we can continue to reach out and to prove it does get better. So thank you for inviting me to be a guest on the show today, Shira. I'm just dazzled and amazed by the outreach around the world, and I encourage everybody to be involved. Stitch another hat, go to the It Gets Better project link, find out about it, and we can make the world a better place. So thank you, Shira, for bringing me into your family. Literally.
literally. All kidding aside, guys. So John, like I said, he is our exercise correspondent, and my father, my parents watch the She Show every day and is now a client of John's. So John is available.
Very available.
But I just wanted to share with everyone a little story of how John and I actually met. Because it was actually a really special moment that is going to reference one of our other special guests that's going to join us. In my first year of Hat Not Hate, when I asked for my initial 1,500 blue hats, I went to a club downtown called Club Cumming, owned by the actor Alan Cumming. But a good friend of mine, Josh Bennett, who is a knitwear designer here in New York City, runs I would say a crafting get-together. And him and Brini Maxwell host this together. And it's really fun. It's knitters, crocheters coming together, having a drink, and there's a special guest. And I was the special guest that night to kind of to put a call out, to talk to knitters and crocheters and tell them about Hat Not Hate. And John was sitting there front row center, and he had tears in his eyes, and he came up to me at the end and he said, "I'm going to do everything I can to help you in this mission." And man, almost 3 years later, John, you are by my side more than ever. Every stitch. And I am so thankful to you for being there that night and for being there every day since. So thank you so much. And
honor.
It's nice because you're almost as emotional as I am. So it evens out the tears. So
I held back.
I am so proud. I couldn't. It was getting ugly over here. So I thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And thank you to that. So with that, I am actually going to toss it over to my my friends that I know have some questions. So I'm actually going to call out my good friend Alex Katz, who is actually in Israel right now.
Hi, Shira.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. It looks like you are mission control right now. It looks like you are driving, you are flying a plane. That's what it looks like.
Right? I feel like it, seeing all these people from all over the world here.
Isn't it amazing? Alex, can you tell everyone a little about where you are and what you do?
I live in Jerusalem. I'm sitting here now, Jerusalem, Israel, and I'm an electrical engineer. I'm finishing up my degree and I just started a job.
Okay.
And I so admire your project. I love the She Show. It's on at night here, but it's so fun to log in.
Okay, awesome. And is there any I think I heard some cool news that happened during this kind of I guess how would I say this pandemic has happened to you. Has there been some exciting news that you maybe want to share?
There has. Yesterday afternoon, I proposed to my girlfriend,
Wow.
and she said yes.
She said yes. I like how you add that in. And she said yes. That's important.
I don't know. You'd be surprised how many people I've spoken to, and I stopped saying it at that point, and they're like, "So what'd she say?"
That's awesome. That's awesome. So congratulations.
It's been a great 24 hours.
Yeah,
celebrating.
Or as they say in Israel, Mazel Tov. Mazel Tov.
Thank you.
Exciting.
Can't wait. Once we're able to fly again, I can't wait to celebrate with you.
Yeah.
With me and Tova.
Wherever that may be. And it's just really cool. I know you guys, I know you might have a lot of friends on Facebook, but you have 580 plus people that you just told you were engaged to. So there you go. You just had a virtual wedding. Boom. Done.
There we go.
So do you have, I know that you had a question for me. So
I do have a question, Shira.
Yeah.
I want to know what your main inspiration for your hashtag Stitch Around the World is, and what do you hope people get from this whole experience, from this Zoom, from this seeing people from all over?
That's a really solid question, Alex. Thank you so much for asking it. So Stitch Around the World, I think if you, let's say, so it's April 30th today. I remember the last time I was in the office was March 5th, and I had no idea that I would be saying goodbye to Sarah and Meg for as long as I've said goodbye for, and now all I see is their 2D face on my computer screen. But since we've been working from home, and then in talking with our marketing team and our other Hat Not Hate team, what it would be to kind of bring our community together. Hat Not Hate has an amazing tight-knit community, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended for this. And
unintended.
Pun intended. And I think that we really just wanted to harness, just that the community and the bond that I am very, very lucky to have and to be able to have with everyone out there around the world. These knitters and crocheters and loomers and crafters and weavers and dyers, they are the most giving, creative human beings. And I wanted to just, take 30 minutes of the day and bond with them. And as we started getting more traction with the She Show and kind of expanding horizons, having, life therapists and exercise specialists and, singer-song, just literally, I'm trying to branch out as much as possible. I said, what if we had in talking with the team, it was like, what if we had this massive event? And like I said, a big shout out to Mark P for coming up with this concept of the She Show awards, but no one's getting awards. We're just giving out love, but it, kind of really making it as wide and kind of just showing how long our string is. Do you know what I mean? And I hope that, when everyone signs off from the Zoom and our good friend in Melbourne, Australia goes to bed, it's like 2:30 by her. And when you go to bed, because it's like 7 o'clock your time, I think now,
yeah.
I hope that you all just know that we're all connected, you know, even though I don't know the 700 people that were on here initially. I don't know them face to face, and we also have people via Facebook Live also watching. I don't know you all, but I know that we all have this one thing in common, that we're all going through this right now at very different levels. I don't have kids. I just have 2 cats. They pretty much sleep all day. Don't really know what they really provide for me other than love. But yesterday they slept for 6 hours. It was very long. But I wonder, you know, I hope that people can take away that, you know, we really are all in this together, you know, different circumstances, different situations, but we are all home, and we are all so thankful to the frontline workers out there, near and far, the grocery workers, the delivery workers, the people in the offices delivering the mail, the UPS, the FedEx, the security, the doormen, the doctors, the nurses, the surgeons, literally everyone out there. I am so thankful. I mean, there's people probably that I'm not even thinking of, policemen, firemen, firewomen, police women, literally everyone out there that is on the front lines, allowing us to stay safe at home. You're so thankful to you that then I can continue the Stitch Around the World, and that I can do the She Show and literally just bring us all together and put a smile on your face, and just know that you're not alone at home. So that's what I hope. That was my inspiration, and that is what I hope that this gives to everyone today when they end this Zoom.
You're incredible, and you're an inspiration. Love you, and sending love from across the ocean.
You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you, Alex. Thank you so much. Wow, that was Alex. Our next guest that has a question for us is Marion Willis. Is Marion Willis here?
I'm here, Shira. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for asking me. I'm just here from Lovecrafts in very rainy London. It's really not very nice today.
You know, it's not nice here either. It's like windy and gross and rainy and not fun and cute. Not at all. But Marion, tell us a little about who you are, where you're from, and maybe what you have on your needles. I don't know, a little about what you do.
Oh, that's lovely. Well, I'm from the Lovecrafts family, and I am part of the team that creates the content for the Lovecrafts family. We do a lot of videos, and we create a lot of lovely tutorials and patterns and fantastic yarns for all our sort of lovely customers around the world. And actually, I love this Stitch Around the World because we launched a brand campaign this year called Together We Make. And because we recognize that all the makers in the world, whether you're a stitcher or a crocheter or a knitter or a cross stitcher, everything you do is making something beautiful. And we love that. So this is very, very special to us that you're doing this Stitch Around the World. We love that. We feel like together we all make lovely things.
Oh, thank you so much.
And hopefully we can do some real good with that.
I hope so too. And not only that are you part, but we actually had a little bit of a chit chat yesterday because you have a really cool podcast along with Mr. Stitch.
Oh yes, Mr. X Stitch. So
yeah.
Mr. X Stitch, who runs is the sort of the kingpin of contemporary embroidery in the UK, and we have just launched the Lovecraft Show, which is on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and it's just really great fun where we can talk to fantastic guests like you yesterday about how craft changes their lives and what's important to them, and it's just so exciting to meet new people and find out how craft changes their worlds.
It really is such a wonderful podcast, and that podcast, little self-plug for both of us, that podcast is going to be live next Wednesday, so definitely check that out. Subscribe to the Lovecraft podcast. But Marion, you had a question for us, so I would love for me. Yeah.
I know that we did have a small chat about Hat Not Hate yesterday, but I want to ask you, what was the backstory behind Hat Not Hate, and how can more of us get involved?
It's a really good question. So, Hat Not Hate was, oh man, it's, all right, get ready guys. So Hat Not Hate was started about 3 years ago in 2018. The concept of Hat Not Hate is that I have asked knitters and crocheters around the world, so that would be all of you guys, to make blue hats. Blue because blue is the anti-bullying color. And these hats then get distributed throughout the month of October to students around the United States. Now, side note, goal, big goal, life goal, around the world. But for right now, I'm mastering the United States. And the first year I did this in 2018, I asked for 1,500 blue hats. And the best part of that story, as a lot of you know, is that my father, who is probably one of my biggest fans, I had never done a campaign before. I never thought that I could do anything like this before in my life. But I said, you know, I want to do this. I want to make a change, and I want to make Hat Not Hate happen, because ultimately it was because I was bullied when I was a little girl, when I was in 4th grade. And I just never wanted not only children, but also adults to never have that feeling of being alone and that pain. And, you know, the first year that I launched this, I never knew what running a campaign was. So come the summertime, when our deadline was September 24th for these 1,500 blue hats, and we hadn't really gotten that many yet, my father said, "I'll be impressed if you get 200. And I looked at him, I'll never forget exactly where we were. We were at our family house, and we were sitting there out on our porch, and I looked at him in the face and I said, "Watch me." And then on my 30th birthday, I got one of the coolest gifts in the world. I got 2,600 blue hats and the furthest one coming from Benghazi, Libya, which was crazy. So with that, I realized I struck a chord. And after that, people still were sending in blue hats. So of course we were going to do it in 2019. And of course I was going to up my goal. And my goal then became 25,000 blue hats, which is a crazy number. But I have to tell you, that moment when my dad told me, I don't know if you're going to get, I'll be impressed if you get 200. It gave me so much fire in my belly, everybody, that I really believed that we could make it happen. So we did. We came short of our goal. As far as I'm concerned, we made our goal of 25,000 because people took it upon themselves to bring it to their communities around the world, and I'm so grateful for that. So people can get involved simply by making a blue hat. Boom. Make that blue hat. Send it to us. All the information is on hatnothate.org of how to send it. And we appreciate all of your blue hats. And I really mean it. Just one blue hat makes that difference, because that hat gets sent off to a student somewhere in the US and makes them aware, and makes them and shows them that they are being seen and they are being heard. And they are wearing that hat made with all that love by your stitches. So thank you so much, Marion, for joining us today and for being a part of this amazing event. And I'm sending so much love to you in England, and just stay healthy and safe. I want to go to our next guest, Josh Bennett. Josh Bennett, are you there? Josh
Hi, I'm here.
Hello, he's here.
Hi.
Background. Josh Bennett, tell him, I mentioned you earlier. I hope you were listening.
I've been here listening.
So Josh Bennett, tell us a little bit about you, where you are, who you are, and I know you have a question for us.
Yes, to all of that, I do. And I thank you for the Pippi Longstocking.
Yes!
I love it. I finally can, I have some hair. This is great.
I love it.
Thank you.
Good.
Just how I spend my morning is arranging this, just getting it ready. So my name's Josh Bennett. I am a sweater hand knitwear designer, mostly men's. But I have had a line at Bergdorf Goodman. I have a collaboration with Marvel and did a little sweater collection based off the movies that come out. And I co-host a knitting show at Club Cumming. Well, it's normally at Club Cumming, but now we do it virtually, Knit at Night, with my co-host Brittany Maxwell, and we have a special correspondent, crochet extraordinaire London Kay. So she's joined us while we are online because she's in London. She is London, she's in LA. So we get to be a little Knit at Night family.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. And I've been, like I said, I've been to Knit at Night and in person and virtually. So you should definitely go check out Josh Bennett, follow Josh Bennett, and follow, more importantly, Knit at Night, because they have those crafty hangouts. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. You just, as long as you're awake, you can join them. And I just appreciate, Josh, you being here today. You have been on the She Show. You've been on Tea with Shira. You have just been an awesome friend of Hat Not Hate and of just everything Lion Brand. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Because we've been knitting forever, you and I. It's been a very long time. My grandmother taught me when I was 8. I stopped because boys don't knit where I grew up. So I got into musical theater because we all sing and dance, right, John? And being a guy in the knitting world in the beginning, it was kind of odd, especially working in a yarn shop. No one thought that I could work at a yarn shop or ask me questions. I know when the Lion Brand studio was open, you had some men work there as well. How do you see kind of the knitting and that industry, kind of the diversity opening up?
Well, it's a really good question, because I think that, it's people like you. It's people, I think diversity has become a really big conversation in our community in the recent years. And I think it's important, because no matter who you are, as long as you craft and you're crafting, as far as I'm concerned, we're all the same. We just have different ways of creating. That's really what makes us different, is that, the way that I knit might be different the way that you knit, but we're all using yarn. We're all, whether you're a dyer, whether you're a embroiderer or a cross stitcher or a weaver or a loomer or a knitter or a crocheter or a felter. I don't know. There's so many types of crafts out there, and it's people like the men that are standing up and saying, hey, I craft too. Like my good friend Darren, he worked in the studio, and I know that he's a part of this Zoom call now, Mr. Woolly Bear on Instagram. He is so wonderful, and he's been an amazing friend to Hat Not Hate. And women, men, doesn't matter what color your skin is, we're all equal, and I kind of think that I was actually talking to someone who joined us, who's actually going to be on the She Show tomorrow, Ceci, Creative Ceci, and she's actually going to be coming up. But, we were talking about just, this is one moment in time where we're all feeling the same way, right? We're all going through this experience. And truth be told, when we're crafters, we're all going through that experience too. We're all crafting together. And it really doesn't matter who you are, where you're from. We're all speaking that language of craft. And as far as I'm concerned, we're the same. And any person that tells you different, they aren't really, I think that I would just, they're not aware. And I hope maybe that you educate them and just say, it doesn't matter the color of my skin, or if I'm a male, or if I'm a female, or if I'm, LGBTQ, or if I'm, green, or if I'm yellow, whatever you are, it doesn't matter. We have this amazing thing, this string that binds us all together. Your Pippi Longstocking hair that binds us all together. And with that, I think that's what I think that we just need to be more loud about, that the crafting is what brings us together and doesn't separate us. And I thank you, Josh, for realizing that men do knit, and that you became an amazing creative human being. And I'm so glad to have met you and glad to have you on this show with us today. And thank you so much for always being a friend of Hat Not Hate, a friend of mine, and a friend of Lion Brand. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Congratulations. This was truly amazing.
Thank you so much. So the next guest that we're going to go to is, I think, our good friend Shani. Shani was most recently on the She Show. Shani Herman. Shani Herman should be in there, hopefully. My zoologists are on it, and they're looking for Shani Herman. Where is Shani Herman?
I'm here.
She's here. She's
here.
coming.
Yeah.
Yes, Shani Herman. How are you?
I'm great. Great to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us. Oh man, and you got the whole family. I love it.
Yep. Yeah, it's bedtime here in France, and they are very excited about what I might be doing during bedtime. So here we are.
Here we are. Well, first off, that she looks like a mini me. So she looks like a mini you. That's what that is. Shani was just recently on the She Show, and she is, I have to tell you, Shani, I have been thinking about you big time, because our talk on the She Show the other day definitely has really, oh my God, I love this picture of you guys. You guys are so cute. You guys really have had me smiling and thinking about everything of who I am and making myself a better person. But Shani, I know that you can find out more information about Shani on dc.com, and you can check out our previous She Show from Tuesday. But Shani, I know that you had a question for us all the way from France.
Yes. So we're in France and you're in New York City. So what has your experience been like with the pandemic and the quarantine, and how has knitting and crocheting helped you get through it? That's a personal question for me, because I'm not yet a knitter, and you could sell me on this.
I can totally sell you on this, especially as someone who's like a personal development coach and always telling people to kind of like look into themselves and kind of tune into things about themselves, is that knitting and crochet has always been something that I've gone to in times of therapy, of trauma. And I go to it, I enjoy it, I love it on a daily basis, but there's no question that I have always turned to it when I have had trauma in my life and I personally am going through something. And when this whole thing happened and I realized I was going to be home for a minute, I got my yarn and I started making what I call my Corona blanket. Then I'm working on my Corona, I think it might be a crochet version of the Corona blanket, where the first one was knit. And now I am working on my hats and hopefully another sweater. It really has always been a therapeutic move for me to go to knitting and crocheting. And I'm sure a lot of you feel that way as well, that knitting and crochet definitely does help you through those dark moments and gives us, you know, a sense of happiness and of joy. So Shani, thank you so much for joining us from France and with that really important question, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that feel that way too. I want to get these last three questions in because I think they're really important. So Creative Sassy, where are you? Cecilia Nelson Hurt, where are you? Speak up.
I am here. Hey, everyone. This is the coolest thing ever. I feel so like we're all here together. This is awesome. I'm watching everyone. I keep going to all of the pages. Great job.
Isn't it overload? It is like crazy.
Cool.
I'm going to need to take a nap after this. You know, first off, Creative Sassy is going to be on the She Show tomorrow. So this is like a little self-plug. I'm self-plugging both of us right now.
Thank you.
And we're going to be chit-chatting and crafting some more. But Ceci, tell everyone where you are, who you are, and what you're making.
Absolutely. So I am in Queens. Ironically enough, I live in a part of Queens called Corona. Yes, that is my community, but I chose to go with my Queen sign.
I love that. I love it. I love it. I see it. I see you.
Yeah. So I by day I do diversity and inclusion for a global beauty brand. And when I'm not there, my husband and I are traveling the world, and I'm knitting. So this is so perfect because I, love to knit the world, and this really ties in nicely to that. The other thing that I started doing about a year ago was speaking about diversity and inclusion as it relates to the crafting community. So looking at who is missing from festivals, from opportunities, and just being a voice for that. I'm one of the founding or first members of the Vogue Knitting Live Council on Diversity to help Vogue be more inclusive. And so, all the aspects of my life neatly knit together. But
I love that. I love that. Beautiful.
Yes.
So I know that you had a question for me, so I would love to hear what it is.
You know what? So I think particularly as we turn on the news and it's always something sad, right? There's always, for the most part, there's sad news. And so I'd love for you to talk about one or two of the inspirational stories that have touched you during this time. And it doesn't have to be a crafting related. It could be any source of joy.
Man, well, I mean, honestly, the fact, it was actually, I don't know, I think it might have been 2 days ago that when we had our guest Shani on for the She Show, and someone wrote in the comments, "Thank you so much for the She Show. It has brought me so much joy and happiness." This person had mentioned that she had lost 2 friends earlier this week, but just knowing that I am giving her joy and I am giving her happiness in creating this She Show, and I'm not doing it alone. I have my producer Meg, I have Sam, I have Sarah, I have Erica, I have Mark, I have Jessica, I have Rich, I have this amazing team that makes it all possible. I mean, I just show up on screen, but there's so much that happens in the background, and I'm so thankful for those people to help me. And truthfully, like, I just think about like the people that I talk to, and just see, I mean, one of the coolest experiences is being here in New York City, a place where I think back to a story of when I went to Boston, Massachusetts for a weekend to kind of like get away from the city. This was a few years back, and I came back into Penn Station, and I was just like in this Zen place, and just someone knocked me, like that New York City shove. And you think like New York City is like fast moving, like hustle, bustle, all this stuff. And now we're all confined to our homes, and at 7 p.m. every night, we all come together and clap. And as far as I'm concerned, that is one of the coolest things ever. And while I really do miss my parents, and I think I'm going to be going and moving in with them this weekend until further notice, that is the one thing I think that has kept me here in the city for the past 2 months, is that I love the city so much. And hearing thousands, and as far as I'm concerned, millions of people out their windows clapping for our frontline workers is one of the most inspiring things. And just, when the world hurts, we hurt with it, but we're there to support it and lift it up. So I think that those are like the 2 that kind of stand out to me when you put me on the spot like that.
No, those are awesome. And I love the clapping hour, as it's called. And John, my friend there, he does a great job of doing a countdown and showing it on his page. And I do feel so connected to all of us at that time, as I do now. So thank you so much. And
thank you.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. The next person that I'm going to call on, it's our last 2 questions, and then we're going to wrap up this amazing event. Joey Katz. Is there a Joey Joseph Katz out there?
Hello.
Hello, hello. How are you?
Good. How are you, Shira?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. I just wanted to say yesterday, I'm calling from Jerusalem in Israel, and yesterday we celebrated Independence Day, and there were lots of blue and white flags going all over, flying throughout the city. We all stood out on our balconies, and now I feel like it's Israel Independence Day on around the world with all the blue and the white.
You see that was my plan all along, Joey.
So it's great to be here. It's great to see you. It's great to see so many people from all around the world. I love knit items, and I remember when I was a little kid, I went away to summer camp, and I was really proud because I knit a yarmulke, those skull caps that we wear. And I didn't knit, I crocheted. And I came home, and I was really proud to show my grandma that I crocheted a yarmulke. And she asked, why didn't I knit it? And she tried to teach me how to knit it. It's a knit a yarmulke, and that did not work. That was a fail. But I will show you, if I can figure out how to, one of my favorite items is the following thing. I'm taking my background off for a minute, and if you see here, I have my bowling alley Afghan that I can set up bowling pins and a bowling ball in the living room. And I can have my bowling alley.
That's awesome.
Made of yarn. I believe it's made from Lion Brand.
That is awesome. That is super cool, Joey.
So
thank you so much.
It's good
for
to be
sharing
here.
that.
Shira, I do have a question for you. I've been following avidly Hat Not Hate. It's one of the most unbelievable projects. I follow on social media. Props to the Lion Brand social media team, to the Hat Not Hate team. And now Stitched Around the World. What comes next for you, Shira? These are really world-changing, social impact from you. So what's next?
Man, a very good question. Personally for me, a nap. But after that nap, because I have just given you all of my heart and my energy today, I think really what it is ultimately my dream would be that we make this a really alive in-person event. When everything goes back to whatever the new normal will be, I hope that one day, now that I know I can make it happen virtually, oh man, who knows what's in store. Listen, if I have the ammunition with all of these beautiful faces around the world, around the United States, to be a part of this and to make this record and to show their support of Hat Not Hate and It Gets Better and Lion Brand, I truly believe that we can bring this to a live event. So,
Amazing.
I don't know, Joey, you might have to fly to New York for a live event.
Well, I remember some smaller events growing up in New York in a Union Square. They used to have these knitting knit outs back in the day. Yeah. And growing up in New York, we used to go to them, and those were awesome. So to bring people from around the world to come to Union Square, that would be awesome. And I would be on a flight to New York to say hello to my old neighborhood and to take part in it. So I'd love to do that. So,
I'm going to give you another shout out. I think you also have something to share with the whole crowd. Was there something exciting that happened to you?
Actually, I became engaged. My fiance is here, and she's wearing a knit. Special for this evening, Talia is wearing a awesome lightweight knit sweater.
A lightweight knit sweater, beautiful.
I can take off the screen so people can see. How do I do this? So we love knit products. We really do. There we go. If you can see the knit all year round.
Knit. It looks beautiful.
And this is a larger knit.
I love it. I love it. You guys are awesome. And as they say in Jerusalem and Israel, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov.
Thank you. Thank you. And we hope to knit some interesting things together.
I love that. All right, good luck. I'm going to leave you guys alone. Looks like it's going to get wild over there. Well, listen, congratulations, and thank you again for joining us today all the way from Israel. Thank you so much.
This is amazing. Regards to everybody all around the world.
Last but not least, our final guest that has a last question for us is Alex Travell of Two of Wands. Where are you? Alexandra,
Hello.
where are you? Hello. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Good. Knitting my blue hat.
Knitting your blue hat, and you are wearing your awesome short sleeve tiger. Oh my God, that's part of her new summer collection, Summer Safari, I think it is. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Summer Safari collection.
And you're in Woodstock, New York, I believe, correct?
I am, yes, just outside of Woodstock, but that's sort of the closest place I think anyone would recognize.
Recognize. Solid.
Been here.
Solid. Well, listen, Alexandra Travell of Two of Wands, she's a big blogger. She is an influencer. She's also a friend of mine. She's been on the Tea with Shira. She's been on the She Show. Now she's been on Stitch Around the World. And I wanted to first off, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you for your continued love and support of Hat on Hate. You are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about, just kind of tell everyone who you are, maybe, kind of, and maybe introduce Dashel. I don't know. I'm kidding.
Oh, he's been put into the other room, so he didn't destroy my whole setup here.
That's her dog, everybody. That's not like her boyfriend or something. He is in the room.
They're both in the other room right now. I have no setup in my apartment up here for any of these Zoom calls, so I just have this really awkward stack of books with the computer sitting on top of it. So I was nervous someone was going to knock it over.
It's awesome. I have a box of Twister and a crafting project underneath my computer, so that's where I'm at. But tell us. So you're working on a blue hat.
I am working on a blue hat. I started Two of Wands, which is my little knitwear design company, in 2013. So it'll be 7 years this November. And I am so honored to have been working with Lion Brand for many of those years and designing some stuff in your gorgeous yarns. And, I'm a huge fan. Lion Brand is the first yarn I ever used when I first learned to knit as a kid. And it has consistently been my go-to, obviously. And I just love everything that your company does. Your family is amazing. You guys give back so much, and it's just such an honor to work with you. So thank you for all of the opportunities that you continue to give me. And just like all of you guys, I'm just here, spending my time stitching away morning, noon, and night. And working on the next project. I just launched my Summer Safari collection on Friday, and I'm already on to the next thing.
The next thing. So I know that you had a question for me.
I do have a question for you.
Yes.
As an extrovert, I've realized that it's really difficult for me to have energy being kind of alone and disconnected from everyone, I will say. Whereas I know of a lot of people who are like, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life. I love being alone. I just feel great, not me. So my question sort of has to do with that. And it's that, I think this event obviously is connecting so many people. And I do think even if people are enjoying some alone time, we are all craving a connection of some sort. So how do you what's your hope out of this and out of this event, and just in general, how we will come out of all of this being more connected in different ways?
I almost feel like I feel like I've been smiling this whole time and my cheeks hurt. I just like being able to see everybody, and this is like a not even a work Zoom. It's just a Zoom on steroids right now. Like that's what it is. And I am just so grateful to everyone. And I hope that it's just a reminder, just like the She Show is, you're not alone. We're all here. We're all, no matter what time it is, what day it is, whenever it is, someone's always stitching around the world. And that's kind of what this is about. This is, Stitch Around the World was just to, and I encourage you all to continue to use this hashtag to show where you are stitching around the world, and to continuously let everyone know that was on this call today, this experience, that you're not alone. and that we're all in this together. And even if your house is packed to the brim with family and kids and cousins, or you're at home alone, or you're at home alone with 2 cats like me, there's so many people out there, and we're all there together. And I just hope that this continues to give everyone just that like little glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel that is near. I believe it's near. It won't be, you know, blasting light that we're all just gonna like go have a parade in the streets. Please don't do that yet. I hope that that this event and the work that I do with the She Show and everyone out there that's doing lives like Gigi Made It and Brooklyn Boy Knits and events like John Giswold and you know, where he has his Knit in the Pit on Friday nights, and Josh Bennett that has his events every Tuesday, that you just continue to know there are so many outlets for you out there, and we're all in this together. And we are just stitching around the world one stitch at a time. So I hope that everyone takes that, holds that in their heart, and you can give it back to me when we meet in person one day. I thank you, Alexandra, for joining us today.
My pleasure.
And, I really appreciate it. And with that, everybody, we went a little over, but I wanted to give everyone the opportunity to ask the questions and to be a part of this. And just a few little things. So again, today, mind blown. Thank you all for participating in this event. Thank you to all of your beautiful faces. I think this tops any birthday I could have ever planned for myself in a million years. I am so thankful to Lion Brand for being in my veins since I was born and giving me the opportunity of becoming brand ambassador to this company, and to then supporting Hat Not Hate to becoming the anti-bullying campaign that it has become, and that it will continue to grow to be an amazing campaign that ultimately one day wipes out bullying, and there are no more adults or 9-year-olds that feel the way that I did when I was a young little girl. So I encourage you all to go check out hatnothate.org, our Hat Not Hate Facebook, our Hat Not Hate Instagram. Check out lionbrand.com. We are selling yarn. So I see we're all working on projects, so you must be running low. So check out lionbrand.com. Go to the Lion Brand Facebook page, Lion Brand Instagram account if you're not already following, and myself, Shira Roars, on Instagram. You never know what you're gonna get on my Instagram page, but you'll get this beautiful face. And with that, remember to tune in Monday through Friday for the She Show at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue stitching with me and learning about all the different amazing guests that I have on. And with that, I think that I think we're done. I can't believe this. And you bet your bottoms, I'm about to go call my father and say that we had 700 people here. So with that, I love you all, and I'm giving you the biggest hug in the world, socially distanced. And I thank you all, to each and every one of you, for being a part of this groundbreaking day, for creating this event. And I am so thankful to each and every one of you. We have recorded this, so we hope to get this up on YouTube so you can share with your family and friends. It was also on our Facebook page. So to everyone that is watching near, far, and wide, thank you so much. And to remember to continue to stitch around the world. Use that hashtag. I want to know that you continue to stitch and you are not alone. So as always, stay healthy, stay safe, and stay at home. Bye, everybody.